The player who taught me everything about heart. A baseball story about staying close. A baseball field can be loud enough to shake your ribs. The crowd. The music. The scoreboard operator hitting the horn a little too often. But the loudest sound I remember from that summer was not any of that. It was the sound of a man inhaling, steadying himself, and choosing hard over comfort. I was 12, too old to be impressed by autographs, too young to understand what real leadership looks like. I thought heart was something announcers said when a team was losing. Then I met a player who taught me it is the whole point. This is the story of the player who taught me everything about heart. Chapter 1. The season. I didn't want to play. That year I did not want to play baseball, not because I hated the game, but because the game had become a mirror I did not like looking into. I was small for my age. I struck out a lot. I felt like every miss was public proof that I was not good enough. My dad did not push. He did the thing good fathers do when they cannot fix it for you. He stayed close. He would drive me to practice, let me be quiet on the ride, and only say one sentence as I got out of the car. Just compete today. At the time, I thought it was a nice way to say, try harder. I did not know it was the beginning of a lesson. Chapter 2. The player with a quiet reputation. Our town had a minor league team, nothing glamorous, metal bleachers, cheap hot dogs, a mascot that looked like it had seen hard times. But one summer, a veteran came through on a rehab assignment. His name was Marcus Hale. He was not a superstar. He was not the guy kids imitated in the backyard. He was the guy other players looked at when things got tense. Marcus played the game like he respected it. No show, no tantrums, no excuses. When he failed, he reset. When a teammate failed, he stayed near him. My dad liked him immediately. I did not understand why. To me, Marcus looked ordinary. Then I watched him in the little moments. He ran hard on routine ground balls. He picked up a Bat Boys dropped helmet like it mattered. He shook hands with the grounds crew the way most players shake hands with scouts. Chapter 3. The night. The lights did not help. One Friday, our team got smoked. Blowout. Errors. Bad at-bats. You could feel the air leave the dugout. Marcus struck out twice. I remember it, because the crowd got restless, like they were waiting for him to do something dramatic. He did not. He came back to the bench, took off his helmet, and sat there breathing like he was trying to slow the whole game down. After the last out, kids lined up for autographs. I stayed back. I had just struck out in my own game earlier that day. My stomach still felt tight. I did not want anyone to look at me and see disappointment. My dad nudged me. Go ask him something. Like what? I muttered. My dad looked at me and said, ask him how he handles it. I walked up to Marcus with my cap in my hands, trying to look casual. I was not. Sir, Mr. Hale? I said. How do you not lose it when you play bad? He studied me, not in a judging way, in a seeing way. Then he said, come with me. Chapter 4. The conversation behind the cages. He led me behind the batting cages, where it was quieter. The noise of the crowd became a distant hum. Marcus leaned against the fence and asked, what do you think a bad game means? I shrugged. That you are not good. He nodded like he would heard that answer 1,000 times. Most people think heart is playing hard when you feel good, he said. Heart is playing honest when you do not. You are going to fail at this game, said. Even if you are great, you are going to fail. He tapped the fence with his knuckles. The question is not whether you fail. The question is whether you let failure tell you who you are. Then he asked a question I still remember word for word. When you strike out, what do you say to yourself? I swallowed. That I am terrible. Marcus nodded. Okay, that is the voice we are fixing. He pointed to my chest. Heart is the space between what happens and what you do next. Then he gave me a rule. After a mistake, you get 10 seconds to feel it, he said. Then you pick one job and do it. Cheer for the next hitter. Take a good lead. Back up the throw. Something simple. Her body needs an action, not a trial, I asked. So you are never mad? He smiled. I get mad. I just do not let it drive. Chapter 5. What I didn't know about him. On the way home, my dad did not lecture me. He just said, "That is a pro." A week later, I learned something about Marcus that made the lesson heavier. He was not on rehab because of a sprained ankle. He had played through a season with a stress fracture in his back because his teammate's kid was sick and the teammate needed time away. Marcus covered innings. He covered travel. He covered pressure. When the front office finally forced him to shut it down, he did not complain. He told the trainer, "Make sure the younger guys are okay." Heart is not always a big moment. Sometimes it is absorbing the hard part, so someone else can breathe. Chapter 6. The game that changed me. Near the end of his assignment, Marcus had one of those nights where everything goes wrong. An error behind him, a call he did not agree with, a pitcher mating down. Late in the game, a rookie booted a ball that let Turung score. The kid stood on the infield grass with his hands on his head, like he wanted to vanish. I watched the dugout. I expected frustration. I expected blame. Marcus jogged straight to him. He did not yell. He did not talk with his hands. He put one hand on the rookie's shoulder and said something I could not hear. The rookie took a breath. He nodded. Next ball hit to him. He made the play. After the game, I asked Marcus what he said. He repeated the same line he gave me behind the cages. 10 seconds. One job. Next pitch. Then he added something I was not ready for. People do not quit because they fail, he said. They quit because they feel alone inside the failure. That sentence landed in me like a fastball, because that was exactly how I would been feeling. Chapter 7. The lesson I took home. The next day at my own game, I struck out again. Same pitcher, same curveball, same frustration. I walked back to the dugout and my brain started to write the old story. You are terrible. You do not belong. Then I remembered Marcus's rule. 10 seconds. I counted them in my head while I unstrapped and restrapped my batting gloves. At 10, I picked one job. I stood up and became loud for the next hitter. Not fake loud, present loud. The inning moved on, the game moved on, and for the first time, I stayed with it instead of disappearing. After the game, my dad asked, "How would you feel?" I said, "I stayed." He nodded like that was the only answer he wanted. Closing. What heart really? Here is what Marcus taught me that summer. Heart is not a personality trait you either have or you do not. Heart is a decision you practice. It is the decision to stay present when you want to hide, to be a teammate when you feel embarrassed, to compete when the story in your head says you are done. And if you are a father, a coach, or the adult in the stands, your kid is learning heart from you long before they learn it from the game. They are watching what you do after their mistake. They are listening for whether your love sounds conditional. So if you want to teach the underrated stuff, start here. Give them a reset. Give them one job. Stay close. Because the greatest gift we can give kids in this game is not a swing tip. It is the belief that they do not have to face failure alone. Comment heart if you believe showing up is the real skill.